How old are you, Miss Emma?
2, 3.
3 years old? Just remember to look at the camera all the time. How old was Emma when she was diagnosed with cancer?
She was 22 months old. 22 months old.
Okay. Is Emma in remission now?
She is. She has been since February of 2010.
She's been in remission
Yes.
that long?
That's when we finished chemo, and so they did the CT scans and everything was good, so, yeah.
Well, tell us about Emma's experience with cancer. You know, like the hospitals.
Right. Well, we took her up there, you know, on the July the 2nd, and she had a knot that come up on her side, and so it scared me, and I, of course, wasn't thinking about cancer, but took her up there, and they did some CT scans and told us it was, you know, cancer and chemo and radiation and everything, and so following week they removed her left kidney and started radiation and chemo the next week, and told us it'd be a 6-month ordeal. So the first month was the hardest for us, for her, for everything through the surgeries and stuff, but you know, after we kind of got, you know, a routine and stuff going, she did quite well through all of it, actually. We kept her away from everybody, you know, keep her healthy as we could, and she did quite well.
And how has Emma's experience with cancer affected the family?
Oh, well, it definitely was a shock. You know, you think you hear cancer of, you know, older people and stuff like that. I mean, used to that's what you thought, and then, you know, it was tough when you have a 2-year-old almost, and they're telling you, you know, she's at stage 4 with cancer, and you're like, how did I not realize that? But it affected, I mean, it was tough, you know, it brought us together. It makes you realize what's important in life, and, you know, what not to take for granted.
How important has your faith been to you during the journey with cancer?
Very, very important. I mean, that's probably what got us through. It was amazing as to how many good people that there really are. I mean, I got so many cards from people with, you know, $100 bills in there, didn't know who they were, no name, nothing, you know, that helped. It was just amazing, and how many churches and how many, you know, people sent prayers and cards and caps for her for when she lost her hair, and, you know, quilts and stuff, and that was really a surprise. You hear so many bad things in the world, and it really surprised me as to how people really stepped up and helped out a lot, because that was, you know, tough on me. You know, of course, I didn't know when I would go back to work. I mean, you know, I couldn't worry about anything else but her at that time, and so it helped a lot, you know, financially and stuff too, to be able to focus completely on her and not worry about anything else. And but definitely, faith got us through.
So we learned very quick.
Very quick.
That the world's not all bad.
Not at all. And, you know, and it does take sometimes stuff like that to help you realize that. You know, again, you know, you take so much for granted, and then you start realizing, you know, when you have a hard blow, how many people actually care.
Yes. How important has faith been to you during this journey with cancer?
It's definitely been an important thing. You know, my church helped a lot, and so many people.
What has helped you and Emma through the rough times during cancer treatments?
Well, faith, my family, you know, everybody, pretty much. Emma did quite well through most of it. You know, the hardest part was staying, you know, in the house, staying away. I mean, I couldn't even go to Walmart when I wanted to go. I couldn't take her anywhere. You know, you're so limited all of a sudden as to, you know, what you can do and go. And, you know, when we were used to just doing what we wanted to do, it wasn't too bad on us, like I said, once we got it going. fortunately, Emma did quite well through it. I know some people don't, but she did really well through most of it.
Yeah. So she responded to the treatment.
She did. She responded to the treatment. It didn't make her very sick, so I didn't have to deal with her up all night and crying and throwing up, and which, you know, I did see a lot of that when we were in the hospital, but fortunately she responded quite well. And, you know, other than, you know, she lost her hair and she was calmer and didn't feel really good, but I was very fortunate that
this was at Vanderbilt Hospital,
the Children's Hospital.
Which
yeah,
number one people right there.
They were definitely. I have no complaints about anybody there.
Were you able to use any of the American Cancer Society service while Emma went under treatment?
You know, I was thinking about that. I don't know. I had so many different. I don't think so. Of course, like I said, we were up there for 2.5 weeks, I guess. Come home and then started the radiation and stuff. And we stayed home the entire time, so it wasn't like I was having to do a lot of coming and going and stuff. So we didn't, because she did quite well, but you know, I'm sure they have social workers and stuff that come in and they bombard you with so much information that, you know, it's from so many people different, you know, societies and things wanting to help. You know, it is possible, but I'm not real.
Of course, we have the Hope Lodge,
right. See, I live, you know, maybe 40 minutes from there, so I didn't have to, you know, do that. I stayed the whole time, but I didn't have to, you know, use a lot of them. But there were a lot of people, especially from out of town, out of state, that I'm sure definitely benefit.
And it's getting better and better. Treatments are getting better. We have to learn what we discover things. We don't invent things, we discover things. God put there to begin with.
Right.
So, but if you can stay at home, there's no place like home.
No place like home. It was so good just to get to drive home that night, sleep in your own bed. Except she wound up not going back in her bed anymore. She's in the bed with Mama.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say that might give encouragement to parents of children with cancer?
Stay strong. You know, it's when they tell you that, you just sit there and you're like, what? You know, and you just keep saying, no, it can't be. You know, children don't get sick. But from my experience and from from even seeing the other families, because you become a family with all of them up there, it usually gets worse before it gets better. You know, I mean, when they tell you that, and then you're like, okay. And I think I stayed in my own little world for the probably more than first half of it, because you just couldn't grasp what was really going on. And but to stay strong, because when it seems like there is no hope, you know, it is. It will get worse, but it will also get better after that. You know, usually it's meant to be.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
I don't guess. I mean, like I said, you know, for most people, even with adults and stuff, you know, I mean, I know when they come in and they're telling you, you know, you've got cancer, you've got this, you're going to have to go, you're in shock and you can't understand why it's happening to you. You know, you just think, why me, why me? And it was hard for me to, you know, once I realized that every parent up there thinks the same thing, why my child, you know, why me? No, if you know, just sit back, you know, accept what's happening, do what the doctors say, do what you've got to do, stay strong, and, you know, hopefully it will get better.
Yeah. How about her appetite? Is it good?
Oh, yeah. It is good. You know, when we went through that, she was limited. You know, it was hard on me because she couldn't tell me really what she wanted it to, but she wanted just very few things and ate that constantly. Had to get a little creative on how to put calories in, you know, add butter to stuff, and, you know, to keep her as fat as we could. But it's as soon as the chemo and everything was done, she's right back.
Mommy, we see you there.
Yeah.
Come see.
Come here. But
Hey.
Well, Miss Taylor, we certainly proud to have you to bring her. We're sorry that those things happen to a child or an adult before that goes.
Yeah.
And we certainly enjoyed having her here and getting her on film. And
Yeah.
evidently, from the statement you made, you were a good mommy. You done the things you need to do.
You've got to.
So we thank you for being here.
Well, I appreciate it.
I got one other question. Is that her natural hair now?
It is.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
I kept noticing that, and I hesitated to ask her.
No, yeah. It's
That's
grown
great.
back quite well. Yeah.
She's a sweet girl.
She is.
Well, thank
She's
you very
great.
much.
Thank you.